Hey everybody, how y'all doing? That was a great live show we had last night. This is the next day. Then I got a late start to the day because I had a sick grandchild to start the day out, and Grandpa had to go watch her. Yeah, poor Lily had another double ear infection again. So I got out here, and last night during the live show, one of you viewers gave me an idea about taking one of these core motors, throwing it on the stand, see how it runs. And well, I got out here. I've been at it for about 2.5 hours. I don't know what I had to move stuff around and that and get to it and get it jacked up, and I couldn't get it onto the start stand. Well, you gotta make sure you got your cherry picker extended to its fullest fullest ability. Jeez, I can't talk. And I had to reposition it. Finally got it on the start stand, and this kind of rolls back to, you know, when things fight you, they fight you for a reason. Well, I've kind of got a little bit of a got out the old inspection camera, and let's see if we can see if I can find it again. Let's see. Come on. Okay, come on. Where is it? Oh, come on. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, we got problems inside the cylinders. 2 of them are scored really, really bad. So, I guess it's up here on the engine stand. We'll take it apart. And here's the other problem I found, too. I thought I shut that off. The other problem I found, I'll show you here in a second. I'm having troubles with my fingers here. It's definitely Monday. Is, I don't know if you guys can see that down in there. These 2 valves, major rust. But unfortunately, I could see some bad scoring on the walls. And this motor was a rebuild. Driver's side, there's a tag under the exhaust manifold. I didn't know that was still stuck on here. The exhaust manifold's stuck on there because there's one bolt that won't come out. And I also, as you also can see, there's one snapped off on this side. So, yeah, I guess I can take the starter back off. Unfortunately, we're not going to be starting that one. It was a good idea, but I guess if it was a good motor, it wouldn't have been sitting here. So, you never know what you're getting when you get them in. So, I guess we'll get set up here and we'll knock the intake off it, the valve cover, and pop off this passenger side head. That's going to be the easiest one. And we'll see how bad and see if we can figure out what bore. I'm hoping this block ain't, because there's a 08 or it's 80. If that thing is 80 over, yeah, that's, I got a boat anchor big time. So anyway, with that, I'll get some sockets and we'll start knocking this thing apart and see what we got. Ha! Had to look for you guys. Laid you down, couldn't find you. But, yeah. And I know you're probably going, well, if it's screwed up, we'll just run it. Let's see how bad it runs. I think once you guys see what I saw through the camera, you're going to understand why we're taking it apart. Now, I'm not sure on these heads. Now, there is a gasket there. Let's see. Start setting everything in the old parts tray there. Yeah. See how tight the intake is. Not very. Ooh, I wish you guys could smell it. I just smell it. It's a sign of a mechanic's worst nightmare. I gotta get a wrench for these because those are too tight. So, and the casting number on these heads are 3927186 or 5. I can't tell for sure. I don't know. Kind of a bummer. I was kind of hoping I actually got some of the good ones. Oops. But, like I said, if that was good, why would it come here? And since this will probably be a total rebuild, I'm not worried about keeping anything in order. That's how they're supposed to come off. Sometimes you gotta pull them pretty good. Push rods have been replaced. They are not stock ones, so they got bald ends on them. So huh. Let's go know what the fine, I'll just that's unusual to wow. See, that's how it's supposed to come off. Now I'll be interested to see what kind of, these are not stock, these are an aftermarket, look like the old Pioneer rocker arms. So this was a strange that got that tight. Yeah. Sometimes you use tools for what they're meant to be, but don't do that on a regular basis. I'll go find me a wrench. The loose of 9/16. You know, you got the 10mm that disappears. Working on old standard stuff. It was always the 9/16. That was always coming up missing for me. Yeah, that kind of tells me right there the center of this head's been hot. So alrighty. I got 4 bolts left, 4 in the center, and then we can pop the intake off. And we'll have this head off, so. Alright. I know I said I was going to get a wrench, but I sit down because my back is not playing happy. But I just noticed something. See if you guys notice it. We got major issues going on. This ain't looking good at all. You guys tell what's going on? Let's see, where's my finger? High, low, low, high, high, low, low, high. All those valves should be at the same height. Yeah. I don't know if I finished saying it earlier. You know, when things fight you, you got to step back and re-look. I was going at this with the intentions of, hey, we could start it and see how it ran. But something said get the inspection camera and look. Well, when we get this head off, you guys are going to see what I saw. And now that I see that the valve train's all at different heights, I'm starting to wonder how hard this motor was run. Pistons don't show. I couldn't see any signs that the valves smacked the pistons, but there's cylinder number 8 is the only one that the two valves are at the same height. Everything else varies up and down. Interesting. Alright, I'll get their inch. For you guys, it's been instantaneous, but if you notice, a little darker. I don't know if it shows up in the camera in here, but yeah. Phone started ringing. Finally just got off with the phone, so that's. Oh, this ain't no aluminum intake. Oh, good old Chevy cast. And okay, I'm going to show you guys too why you don't use the rubber gaskets that come with the intake kits. Look at how smashed and broke. And looky there. We got a hydraulic cam in here. I mean, look at how clean this motor is. It's kind of sad that we got damage. I mean, look at here how it just busted. That's why you use RTV in the corners. There's just nothing left of that rubber, so I know they come with the kit. I'd throw those things away. Like that, do that. Don't even use them. I mean, there's... Yeah. So that smash kind of tells me, and we'll look right now. We'll look right now. Let's see. If the engine numbers are here, if they're gone, that means the block's been decked. Nope, they're there. So we'll be able to find out originally what this motor came out of, but let me grab a pair of gloves. Yeah, I know. I think the years of doing this stuff without the gloves, it's catching up to me. I know there's some comments out there, if you wear gloves you're a wuss and all this, but no, if you're wearing protection, you're actually doing your health a favor. And I've noticed I've noticed I get some chemicals on my hands here lately. Mineral spirits never used to bug me. It does now. So we're just going to go in reverse what I was torqued. None of those seemed very tight, did they? In case my camera was freaking out, I said none of those seemed very tight. Let's see what we got for head bolts. They appear to be stock bolts, which on these older motors was a common practice of doing, is reusing them. Oh, they smell funky. There, yeah, that's no thread sealer whatsoever. No, none. Sprays, they ain't rusted, so that's. God, this is nasty. That'd fall down there. Okay. That was chances. Oh, ouch! Ugh. Oh! Ouch! Did not count on that popping loose like that. Let's see, what heads are these? Oh, these are truck heads that are junk. Ouch. Let's see if I'm bleeding. No, but I got my fingernails already turning purple. Okay. Well, here's what we got for bad news. Ouch. I shoved my finger pretty good. Okay. Let me grab you guys here. The exhaust valves are sunk into the head bad. So I don't even have a set of heads. They're below the surface. That one looks like it's got a seat in it. So that one, holy moly, look at how far that one is. So those heads are junk. And see what I say? That's 80. Does that mean this thing's 80 over? Those heads are junk. Okay, inspection camera made it look worse than what it is, but there's the scoring, there's the scoring. You know what, I'm gonna go get my micrometer. If this thing's 80 over, I'm just throwing the whole thing away. I don't know what the 80 or the 08 means. Granted, I don't know if this was a new motor or what. And I'm going to zero this thing out. It's zeroed. See, zeroed. Hopefully that's showing. And I know this ain't going to be exact. .071. Okay, I want to check another block over here that I got. I know it's 30 over. And that one is measuring 4.27. So yeah, that's a 30 over block. A little on the tight side. Oh. You gotta be kidding me. Yuck. I think it is. Oh yeah. Duh. Someplace rebuilt this motor. There's a decal on the other side. I want to see if I can decipher it. But it's measuring 4.7. Oops. 4.79. This is an 80 over motor. Wow. I'm going to take this down the 4-inch. I did not know you could get the stock style. Okay. We got it locked at 4-inch. I'm going to stick that in there. In. Oh yeah. Well. Yeah. 80 over. And it's zeroed. Alright. Okay, you know, this brings up a point. You know, this motor probably sold, when they sold it to whoever bought it, it probably sold $1,500, $2,000. And this is where I get mad at these reman places or these supposed motors. If this was a mass engine builder, I could see how they got the 80 over pistons. Did they sonic test the block? More than likely no. Did they do anything other than just bore and hone it and slap a set of 80 over pistons in? I mean, you just spent money on a motor that is 80 over. 60 over is not so bad. But 80 over? That, if you notice, I was going up here and doing this. I was trying to see how thick the cylinder wall fills. Granted, I mean, you don't think it's much, but that's putting a lot of heat into your water jacket. And then guys like me, we try building you a good motor, keeping it at 30 under, 40 under, trying to avoid going over that and do a good quality build. But yet people will run out and pay good money for this junk. I mean, the inspection camera made the scoring look worse than what it is. But we got a wave in the cylinder already. I mean, that's what's going to happen. So this 1972 block is junk. I got nothing out of this one. Valves are all sunk in the head. They're junk. I mean, I might end up with an oil pan, timing cover, fuel plate, fuel pump plate. Harmonic balancer is junk. The rubber's... No, wait. Maybe that might be good. That may be good. But this thing... Wow. 80 over. And somebody paid good money for this at one time. I just don't get the thinking behind today's economy. Oh, it came with a warranty. You know, this motor was basically designed to fail so they could sell you another one and still collect money for the warranty, because they'll say, oh, well, it wasn't our fault, so you still owe us, so they're still going to get paid again to sell you junk. Anyway, I'm going to pop the other head off. I mean, these... Well, now we know why we had such the variance in the height. That's how bad the valves are sunk in the head. That's why the valve train's going like that. I just... There's no way in heck this thing had any power. It couldn't have been remotely running worth a damn. Wow. You know, if I could, I don't even know if I could get it apart and find out the pistons ain't that bad. Heck, I'd hone it and just throw it together. But where am I going to find 80 over rings? Everybody stops at 60 in the aftermarket world. And I'm not custom ordering a set of rings because it's going to cost more than what the whole motor together is worth. Wow. Well, let's see what the driver's side looks like. Maybe I'll get over there and find out if there's a big hole in a cylinder yet. I mean, I haven't tried turning this thing over. That's with that. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Oh, shit. That, did you guys hear that? Yeah. I'll knock the other side off and see what we got. Wow, did not wow. Okay, I know I had a little bit of a rant there. And you know, my conscience would have not sold this motor to anybody being 80 over. That would have been something I kept for myself. I stand corrected. There are a lot of pistons and rings available for this thing 80 over. Being this is an old school block, which is a heavy casted block, which is actually lightened now because it's been aboard 80 over. It could be, it can and may be rebuilt. And depending on if I find out if this is a 4-bolt or not, if it's a 4-bolt, I may just clean it, stick it in the corner. And as for testing purposes for me, I might keep this, get some thick-walled sleeves. If I get my boring bar, I'll sit here and I will sleeve every cylinder back to standard and start over with it. I know it's crazy to do, but the sleeves, you can get the sleeves for $30. I mean, if you bought 8 of them at once, you might get them cheaper. Volume discount, you know. And if I'm pouring it myself, what am I out? And it's teaching myself how to sleeve a block, and I could actually put this thing back to standard and start it all over again. Wow, because I've ran a lot of sleeved blocks and I haven't had any problems with them, so it is something doable. And I've talked about in the past where the old car guy, we had the sleeve, the numbers matching block to the car, all 8 cylinders, so it kept its value, and we took it right back to standard, and that motor ran sweet. God, that thing, you never knew it ever had an issue. So I still can't believe that somebody sold this, took somebody's good money to buy something that's 80 over. I know, like I said, I just found out there's a bunch of parts that are available for this, and I'll hit it with the hone, see how it hones. And you know, if I replace the pistons in this, depending on how bad they're scored or what's going on, why I did that, since that measures 477, that means those pistons are undersized to begin with. They're not a true 80 over. They are already, well, let's say if they got 2,000 clearance and that measures, that means these pistons are 5 thousandths under their 80 over. The next set of pistons could be 80 over on the dot, which means this block will need to be power honed to fit those pistons correctly. So there is a chance at 80 over I could rebuild this and maybe do it as a grenade motor for the race car. Tell them, hey, this is what it is, this is what you got. It's either going to go or blow. Speaking of that, let's see what this came out of originally. Being it's a 1972 model. So let's see. There's all sorts of writing all over this block. I'm finding paint marks and that. I'll show you those guys. Let's see. Oh, there it is. The suffix code on this thing is TRH. Okay. TRH. Let's see. I'll look it up. How do I get to that? I gotta remember how to get to that. Nope. Where's the back? Get out of that. Get out of that. Oh, I hate these. I'll be right back. Okay, TRH comes back to, make sure that's what I write. Yep, TRH comes back to 1972 350 conventional cab manual tranny. I'll have to look at the back of the crank. Well, that would have been, it was a 175 horse motor, 4-barrel. It came in the C20 and C30. So yeah, that's a nice block. Oh, should be a 4-bolt. It's a 39710 casting number. And being it was an old truck motor like that, it should have been a steel crank motor too. But if it's going through a 3-man place, who knows? Oh, come on. Didn't you guys sitting there once before? Okay. I'm going to look at the back of the crank here. Oh, no pilot bearing. And, well, I'm not 100% sure. So my next step is I'm going to have to drain the rest of the antifreeze out of it. Oh, here, I'll show you the other side. Number one does have some rust in it. Let's see how bad that looks together. Got the exhaust manifold off. Oh, that other one set saved the day. Let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, there's a little rust there, but it's honeable. And like I said, there's all the weird writing on it. So, I don't know if they did sonic test it. We got marks there. And here's what's left of their tag. 4233166754. It's the only thing on there. And they made that out of a... Oh! They did their tag backward. Sequel. Remanufactured. Made in USA. Let's see. So the tag got ran through backwards. Let's see if I can peel the stuff they stuck it on with off. Oh! Just because that's the name on the tag. I mean, who knows who actually rebuilt it, so. See, this is Corp. So that was its serial number. There you go. Sequel Corp. The serial number of 42331-66754. I might have to look that up. See if there's any looking it up. But there's something wrote there too on this block. I mean, I'm almost sure the crank in here is a cast crank. Every manufacturer place like that won't keep track of the cranks, which go to what motor. They just take them out. If they're good, they're good. 80 over motor. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Alright, well, I guess we're sitting down a little further when I check that out. I might be crazy and rebuild this thing. Depends on what I find on the inside. I forgot to show you the other head. The other head was just as bad, if not worse, than this head for having the valve sunk in. And that brings up another point I want to point out to you guys. These old heads, if they're before 19... I did the small stuff really. If they're before 1975, definitely 75, chances are they don't have hardened seats in them, because prior to 75 we had a lot of leaded gas. That's how the valves were lubricated. Well, you take that leaded gas away, that's what the valves do. They hammer the seats out of the heads and start sinking into the head. So if you want to save your old set of heads like this, I mean, if I had the equipment right now, maybe I won't throw those away. I'll keep those around and use them. If I get my head milling machine and that's where I can replace seats and guides and all that, I may keep those around for a practice set. Well, I got a couple of sets here. I might just clean them, put them off in the corner with the intent of when I get my hands on the machines to work on the heads, I've got some practice heads. If I fix them and they come out okay, we'll use them. If I screw them up in the process of learning, we ain't out anything, sell them for scrap iron. And that's what I'll do with this block too. If it's still straight enough, I might go ahead and hone it and put another set of pistons in it. I can't believe how much there is for an 80 over 350 Chevy. That's just crazy that there's stuff out there for that. But well, I guess you can go 40 under on a crank. I don't think I would, but so yeah, when you're rebuilding these older motors, you got to make sure you put hardened seats in them. And also flat tablet cam, anything non-roller, you got to make sure you add your zinc to it. So would this have ran? Yeah, it would have ran. Would have ran like total, because there's no way those valves could be set anymore. I mean, wow, those. Now it kind of explains why some of the nuts were a little further, almost into the threads, because somebody probably had tried adjusting it to get it to run better. I'm very surprised to find this is my first 80 over block ever. In all the years I've been doing this is the first time I've ever found a reman motor that's 80 over. It's just crazy. Granted, I could go ahead and take a vacuum cleaner and wire wheel to that #1 cylinder, clean out that rust, and clean out the driver's side. And if I got a set of heads there, I have no idea. We could throw them on there, but I think at this point I better drop the pan and see what the inside looks like. Wow. And I guess this also here has now I'm going to enforce a new shop policy. Any core motors coming in before you get credit for them. And this is what the race shops do. They'll give you credit for some. They'll give you up to half of what you got coming. And then once they get them all checked, they'll pay you the rest, or tell you, hey, this block and this block, and then they'll adjust the pay accordingly. From now on, any core motors coming in, the credit won't be done until after I find out if they're standard board or overboard like this, because I can't even load this one up and take it to a race shop and sell it, even if it's a good 4-bolt main. So yeah, I guess you kind of live and learn. Actually, this is the first time I've had one be this bad. I just I wonder what kind of cheap pistons are even in there. I mean, I don't know. So that other 350 sitting over there, no, I determined that was a 77 to 78 350 out of a pickup truck. It could be a 2 or 4-bolt main, it said, so I'm praying to God that one's standard. It looks like it's all original. This one I started seeing the pan's been painted, and I found that sticker, and I was like, yeah, something's up. So anyway, not quite what I expected, but I can't throw a set of heads on here, because I mean, if the crank is still, hopefully that ain't 40 under. I'll probably just jinx myself, but if the crank's good and the rods are good, that's. And this is if this thing's a 4-bolt main, if it's a 2-bolt, I'm probably not going to mess with it. I will throw it, or like I said, put it off in the corner for sleeve testing, boring. If I ever get to that stage where I can put a sleeve in a block. I mean, practice 8 times on that and do it right. I mean, that's better than ruining 8 different blocks trying to learn how to sleeve. So, wow. Yeah. So if you guys do sell cores and you kind of get a little irritated when you sell them and they say, well, we're only going to give you part of your money, well, that's kind of why. If they can't use it, they don't want to pay full price. So, just proves you never know what you're going to get when you get an old motor. Alright guys, I'm going to upload this. Well, if you made it to here, you already know I uploaded it. So, y'all take care, and we'll see what the next step will be with this one. I got to get these at least knocked down and out of the way, because I got one motor coming in this week, and I just got told of another one closer to Christmas, so we'll see. Anyway, keep turning the wrenches and stay dirty.